Thank you guys for tuning in the channel today. Really excited to do bag J here. Looks like we're finally getting to assemble some of our pieces onto this chassis. This chassis, if you can tell, is really thick. And also compared to the 410.3 chassis, the 410.3 had some milled out slots in here. But this thing is just nice and thick and beefy. I think this is going to be a really durable truck. But yeah, let's get started. I think we're going to start by assembling our front assembly onto our chassis plate. We'll flip that upside down, and these two holes should align with those two holes there. And it's going to get the smaller of these two screws. These are M3s. For reference, you guys can look at your instruction manual that has a 1-to-1 reference for all your screws. Gonna snug that up. Feels nice and tight. Tighten that up by hand just a little bit. Seems pretty tight. All right. Now that we have our front assembly on, we're going to go in and install these two aluminum pieces. That's going to hold our steering linkage, our bell crank there. If you notice, this has two little flats on it. Those flats are going to go in those slots right there of the chassis, and they will get some thread lock. So maybe flip this over. Go ahead and drop some thread lock in there, like so. Drop that in there. And these are going to use the TKR1343. And it should be the shortest screws there, like those. And we might flip this over. See how we're going to get this on camera here. I think I'm going to drop it in that hole there. And just screw this on the ways. And then slide it up in there. And we'll come on the back side here to tighten it up. Just like so. If you notice, it's down in the slot there. Let's go ahead and do our other side. We'll push the screw through. Turn this on there a little bit. Flip it upside down. Tighten that up. Should be down in the slot. That looks good. I'm going to go ahead and carefully, you don't want any of the bushings to fall out or the bearings to fall out of this. I'm going to slide this over our 2 posts that we just installed. Should look like so. And next, looks like we're going to install this piece here, and it's going to connect in there with thread lock and into those 2 posts. So that's going like so. And we're going to use TKR1443, which is like a cap head screw. Should be those 2 screws there. And we want to thread lock it. And I'm going to put it on the screw this time. I don't want to get so much thread lock that it gets into our bearing that we installed. But anytime you're going metal to metal with these screws, we need to use thread lock. Get that good and tight. This TKR1447 is going to thread down into this piece here, and we're going to go ahead and install that. I'll switch to my driver here. I'm going to hold that flat. Should be good and tight. That'll hold that in place. Now, maybe go ahead and install these 2 screws from the back side. These are the TKR1344. And they go in this plastic piece from the other side. Like so, and then we'll get one in that hole as well. Seems plenty tight. Snugged it just a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and install this piece here, and it's going to go like so, and it's going to get these 2 cap head screws will go through the shock tower to hold that in place. Go ahead and put it on the other side. Maybe snug those up by hand. Feels pretty good. Once that's done, we're going to install the two screws right there. Found it easier to install those two first and then kind of pull the chassis a little bit, and then we're going to install these two right here. Should look like so. I don't know if you guys could tell on camera, but that was kind of hard getting this lined up and that lined up and the screws in it. Just want to give you a heads up there, but I got it all together. Not sure why that was difficult. If you guys had trouble with that, let me know in the comments below. All right, I'm going to go ahead and install our steering links onto this steering knuckle here. Looks like it's going to get our longer button head screws here, and one will just go through the top. Then it will get two washers, like so, and then it will go through the steering knuckle, like so, and get a nut on the very bottom. Just like so. Go ahead and do our other side. It's going to get a screw here. Two washers. Get inserted through the knuckle. Get a nut on that side. Get that screwed in. Looks good. All right, now we're going to install this front bumper piece. And looks like before we do that, we're going to go ahead and remove our placeholder screw there. Like so. Got our bumper here. Looking like it's going to go and screw in like this with the very two long M3 button heads here. And I like how they done this. You can still get to that screw right there. It's a really nice design. ahead and get this other side started. And then we might finish them with our drill here. Got that all screwed in. Went in those two holes there, looks like. Still a little bit loose. Let's tighten it by hand some more. Looks good. Next, going to go ahead, get our plate here. Looks like it's going to install right here, like this. And it's going to get these really two long ones in the front. Go ahead and install those. I'll finish those up by hand so we don't strip anything. Feels nice and tight. 2 to go. It's looking like these are the only 2 left, so that'll be it. These are some really nice thick skid plates, they look like. All right, looks nice and flat there. Looking good. Now it looks like the only thing left. Put our last screw down in this hole here. Like so. And we're going to screw that guy in. Turn my torque down a little bit. All right, that's good and tight. Got our front assembly ready. Probably getting a front bumper piece soon. But this has been Bag J. Thank you guys for tuning in.